What if your 25th birthday wasn't just a milestone, but the final chapter in how you change? It started quietly. No explosions. No news bulletins. Just stillness. One night, humanity stopped aging at 25. No one knew. Not yet. Because who really notices change when nothing is changing? Years passed, and somewhere around their mid-30s, people began to notice the impossible. They weren't aging. No gray hairs. No joint pain. No visible difference. They still looked 25. Doctors called it genetic stalling. Religious leaders called it divine selection. But most people just stared at the mirror, wondering, what happened to time? Across the world, a pattern emerged. Anyone who was younger than 25 on that mysterious night had frozen. Anyone even a second past 25 aged, got sick, died. The line had been drawn quietly, irreversibly, and the world would never be the same. Soon, cracks appeared in society. Aging used to make room for the next generation. But now, no one retired. A single job could stay occupied for centuries. Career growth became a myth. The corporate world became a mausoleum of eternal entry-level workers. Some stories turned absurd. A 312-year-old intern named Jeremy became a viral icon. He still fetched coffee. And if ambition hit a ceiling, industries hit a wall. Plastic surgery, once a $68 billion global market, collapsed almost overnight. Why pay to look younger when you already are? Universities shuttered their cosmetic medicine departments. Once coveted careers were now obsolete. Students dropped out en masse. Were you planning to be a celebrity surgeon? Well, too late. Time left without you. Even the Botox boom evaporated. Millions of procedures per year dwindled to a few thousand. And not for looks, just for medical reasons. The beauty race had no finish line, so no one ran it. Education spiraled too. Why study for jobs that would never open up? Colleges began offering eternal learning programs just to stay relevant. Most of them failed. And somewhere else, hospitals became quiet. Without aging, chronic illness faded. Insurance companies folded. ERs turned into luxury wellness lounges. But something darker took its place. Mental health disorders surged by 88%. Therapists couldn't keep up, because when nothing changes on the outside, the inside starts to crumble. In homes once filled with family, silence. With no reason to have children, birth rates collapsed. Governments enacted bans. Babies became black market contraband. Underground delivery rooms. Smuggled infants. One child sold in Berlin for the price of a penthouse in Manhattan. Relationships changed too, dramatically. Marriage vows had always included death. Now, there was no ending, only decay. Some couples made it to 150 years and then finally gave up. Divorce became common. Loyalty? Optional. And while love dissolved, danger adapted. Criminals found the perfect disguise. Time. They no longer aged. Facial recognition failed. Fugitives from 150 years ago walked among us, unchanged, unseen. Politics rotted too. Without aging, power never passed on. Dictators stayed in office for centuries. Democracy drowned in repetition. In some countries, children studied a ruler who had never left office. Even more forgot how to end. Generals lived indefinitely. Grudges festered. In Eastern Europe, a battlefield burned for over 140 years, led by the same commanders. Meanwhile, culture began to decay. Fashion froze. Trends stopped trending. With no changing bodies, wardrobes became timeless uniforms. People picked an era and wore it for life. Or rather, for eternity. Some tried to reinvent themselves digitally. When you can't die, maybe you can reboot. Entire identity wiping services emerged. New name, new job, new location. The past? Just delete it. Sports broke next. Records couldn't be broken because the same people kept winning. The 400-year champion still had six-pack abs. Eventually, sport committees had to implement forced retirement based on memory fatigue, not physical decline. Elsewhere, grief took an unexpected form. Pets still aged. They still died. People began cloning their animals, generation after generation. Some owned the 11th version of the same dog. The body might be young, but the heart doesn't forget. And in the loneliness of stillness, machines stepped in. AI companions replaced parents. MomGPT could love you unconditionally forever. Relationships became code. Digital warmth, subscription-based. Society tried to cope with all of it. Some turned to new religions. Cults formed around the night of the freeze. Others blamed humanity's arrogance. In Rome, people gathered yearly to simulate aging, just to feel something change. But the question remained, what is life without loss? Without growth? Without age? Centuries passed, and somewhere in a hidden lab, a decision was made. A treatment, re-age, one injection, and time returns. You start to age again. Slowly, naturally. Hair grays, wrinkles form, joints ache, but so does meaning. And now the world is split again. Those who choose to remain 25, and those who finally want to leave. So what would you choose? Would you freeze in time forever? Or step forward into the unknown? And what do you think would vanish in that future? Your dream job? Your identity? Is your ambition built on youth or purpose? Tell us in the comments. If you know someone chasing a future that no longer exists, send them this video, because eternity might sound beautiful, but nothing is heavier than a life that never moves.